And the banning phase, or the locking phase, has actually begun, so...
Well, enough blabbering on then. Let's go ahead and jump into the game here, guys. Hopefully you're ready. We got game number 2 between ORGE Esports and TteS Esports here in the DreamHoN Redemption Tournament. Of course, ORGE Esports, they're on the Legion side. We got TteS Esports on the Hellborn side this time. Another thing to bring up, actually, which we kind of forgot to the first game. I kind of wish we did, but the first game, it was actually on a Japan server.
Yeah.
This game, it is going to be on a US West server. Now, we were here for the pre-game while they were trying to figure out the servers and whatnot. Again, a big note is that now TteS Esports is technically a US West team. They are not really an Australian team anymore because of Moravis replacing WTF recently. They were going through, average pings and whatnot, trying to figure it out, so they decided Japan first server, US West the second server, and then if there's a third game, they'd roll for it. So that seemed like to be the most fair.
Yeah, and I think that is the most fair. The blind bans have come out. Legion has banned Jeremiah and Electrician. Something about Electrician that ORGE does not want to play against. I think they know that TteS Esports actually likes to run Electrician. They run it quite frequently. Yeah. Hellborn has banned Ophelia and Tundra. Ophelia and Tundra as second position seems to be like the go-to bans. Seems like I always see Ophelia and Tundra banned when it's on Hellborn. Locks have begun. Polywog Priest, that's kind of a very signature ORGE Esport lock. Keeper of the Forest, Tempest coming out from Slicks. Wild Soul Pebbles, so lots of jungles in that pool. And then finally a Torturer. So again, keeping to the roots with Slicks, with Pebbles, Torturer, that Tempest, and even that Keeper. They like to run Keeper. In fact, one of the things I see TteS Esports do sometimes, I don't know exactly how effective it is in real games, but I've seen them in scrims actually run like 4 heroes bottom and just take the tower. Take the long lane tower at like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're successful in that regard, but it doesn't really seem to pay off in the long run. Nonetheless, it's a strategy to note because they do it, and it's one thing to think about.
That is interesting, and as you said, I mean, there is plenty of push options there in that lock pool specifically here for both of these teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, as far as the bans go, the regular bans here, we do have Bubbles, Fade, and Plague Rider so far. Of course, 3 out of the 6. Now there's a 4th one, a Behemoth. So 1 more for either side, and then we'll enter into the picking stage. Of course, TteS Esports, they actually banned Behemoth. A little bit interesting there. Of course, they used Behemoth the first game. They are known to use Behemoth, but I guess ORGE Esports, perhaps, they play some Behemoth themselves and going to go ahead and take care of it there. Forsaken Archer, the ban from ORGE. And now we have TteS Esports, their final ban. Is there a hero that they're maybe a little bit worried about? You still got your Draconis, your Magebane, your Silhouette. It's kind of that trio, and on top of Dark Lady as well. So yeah, all 4 of those heroes even open up. And sure enough, Forsaken Archer is the one that banned because, well, we saw what Slicks can do with it as a result of last game. The last ban, though, is going to be more Axes, but plenty of carry options here for both teams now.
Yeah, everything really is there. The Silhouette, Magebane, Dark Lady, Draconis, it's all there. One thing to note about Silhouette in particularly is that the tree grapple has been nerfed. I don't want to say significantly, but it's now annoying.
True.
Before, you could kind of tree grapple and just walk up to someone and them being in front of you, and it would actually have a very, very large radius around it to be able to stun people. Now it's like they have to be in that range or in that line of where it actually hits for it to actually hit. And it's a significant nerf. Pyromancer, first picked here from ORGE Esports. I love the hero, by the way. I think it's very, very fun. You're checking out that Scorcher skin, which is really fun in itself, too.
I'm checking out the alternate avatar thing. I didn't even know this existed. I press on it, and all of a sudden this new screen pops up. Anyways, so back to the game. So, but yeah, so Pyromancer the first pick, as he said. Magma Luna the follow-ups, and Hammerstorm now by ORGE Esports. So Aggression seems to be the name of the game here for both of these teams so far, actually. But you're kind of going on about Pyromancer there.
Oh, I just really like Pyro. I think he's a very, very good hero all around. He does so much burst. He actually has some late-game potential. He really does when he has full items. And there's a Pyro and Witch there combination. Boy, does that screen burst. It's really fun to watch. Their ultimates are basically identical. And but, Magma Luna on the Hellborn side is very, very strong as well. And there's a lot of good things in that lock pool, so we'll have to see how this shapes up.
There is at least... again, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but it seems like there could be a little bit of a downside to going to Witch Slayer Pyromancer in the sense that one of them is going to be under level because one of them will have to play more of a support role, you would think. I would doubt that both of them are going to play solo roles unless they plan to have one of those maybe in a suicide event. I guess they could play them in the safe lane, but anyways, so, one of them is going to be under level, but still, at least if, you are right, though, theoretically, that's a lot of burst potential coming out between Witch Slayer and Pyromancer there with their ultimate. So, but again, aggressive game, man. So far, this is kind of ridiculous even with both these teams. But at the same time, it doesn't really surprise me because we are doing with TT Esports and ORGE Esports, who are both known as teams as playing very aggressive just as far as their playstyle goes. Now, TT Esports, Slick specifically, he is using a good amount of time here, extra time that is, for the final regular pick. Of course, plenty of options on the board, and, there really isn't a... There we go. I was going to say, there really isn't a there's a Wild Soul in there, but other than that, kind of takes it away. DreamHoN is going to be the carry choice here, though, for TT Esports. Have they used it before? I don't know if they've actually used it. At least that we've seen.
I think they've actually used it, and it's been WTF that's played it, I believe.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
You might.
Or maybe I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. I don't really know for sure.
We did cast quite a bit of games, so.
Yeah. No, I actually think Orange is going to pick up Wild Soul here. It really seems like they play Wild Soul well. They have a number of Wild Soul players, actually. Both Shuyu and XSF, I believe, are decent Wild Soul players. And, yep, there they are. And it's a very versatile pick. They actually run it very, very well. I think they suicide it most of the time, and it's really seems to be the most effective way to use Wild Soul. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick either Keeper or Tempest as well. If I'm pretty sure TD Sports is going to sign that Tempest, though. I don't expect to see them not take that. But there is also Pebbles and Torture, so there's the Pebbles.
I was thinking Pebbles Tempest, for my guess is so.
Well, I don't know if they will pick Tempest now with Pebbles picked. It's going to have some kind of interesting, somewhat weak lanes if they did pick Tempest, in my opinion. I don't know. I think they might go with the Torturer here.
Well, they're using a lot of time. I mean, they're going to use pretty much all the time here. Hopefully they actually pick a hero. That would be unfortunate. There we go. It is going to be Tempest. So, I mean, again, with my thinking, it's Pebble solo, Tempest solo, and you can run a Trilane Draconis, but we'll see. Wow, TT Esports decides to ultimately lane things when it comes down to it, but it sounded like that you weren't a huge fan, though, of going that combination.
Well, this is why. They could do a Suicide Tempest, and I think that's what they're going to do. And depend on who they have, yeah, they are actually shuffling around the heroes. I don't like support Magnuses.
Yeah.
I really don't. I just think it's not utilizing the hero correctly. I really think Magnus just benefits so well and offers so much to a team with a decent amount of farm early on. And so if we are going to see somewhat of a tri-lane Draconis with Magnus or Luna kind of roaming around or doing whatever, that means Magnus is going to get very, very little farm. He's probably going to have to help out on wards as well with Luna. Luna's going to be bitch support this game. And then the Polywog Priest coming out for Orange. I like that. It offers a lot of pushing potential when you couple that with Wild Soul. So yeah, like I said, I mean, it's still very, very strong tri-lane. Don't get me wrong. Like Magnus, Luna, Draconis, if that's what they decide to do, it's very, very strong. Now, Moravis does seem to be more of a mid player. So maybe we'll see a tri-lane Pebbles. I'm not sure. But either way, a lot of damage, a lot of burst coming out from actually both teams.
You know who's also a mid player? Slicks. So,
well, he is, but I just feel like it fits the lineup better to have Moravis mid. I don't really think... In fact, I think it fits the lineup even to have him as Pebbles more so. But Slicks plays such a great Pebbles that...
obviously, yeah. When I think Pebbles players, at least, I mean, Choose, though, obviously one player that comes to mind. Then you got Slicks up there, and then Trowel from Midor is up there.
Actually, I don't really like playing Pebbles that often, but...
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Choose, what are you thinking? So silly of you.
So silly. Anyway, so we have the game starting, though.
I got to interject, though.
Go
I think the best Pebbles player is Haxorn. Honestly,
really?
Yeah, when I first kind of recognized Haxorn as a good player, I was like, oh my god, his Pebbles is
better than B-Kid?
I gotta say, sorry, B-Kid.
Oh.
I know you're probably listening.
Ouch.
But Haxorn's Pebbles is pretty damn good.
So much for bromance, man.
So, I know. But everything else B-Kid plays is better. How about that?
Okay, fair enough.
He plays everything else better, but just that Pebbles.
Just the
Haxorn focused so much on the
don't got
Pebbles.
the swag for that. Magnus needs some swag right here. Can he get away? Actually, no, the Witchlight Graveyard's not going to hit. There's that tongue tie coming out, and Magnus will end up falling. So, bloodlust kill right off the bat here for ORGE Esports Malaysia. So, we're kind of having some fun there poking at some players, but holy crap, action at the top lane right off the bat. And Magnus goes down already. So, hell of a catch there for ORGE Esports. Magnus, he was in a little bit of an interesting spot right there. It's almost as if they just didn't even assume that Orange was going to come up there, but sure enough, they were. Well,
usually you think you have a fail-safe with the Magnus stun because it makes you a little bit invulnerable. You can disjoint some things. And, but that wasn't the case. And I got to say, hats off to Shuyu because he is playing a mid Polywog. You can tell by his items, and obviously he is going mid. But he didn't skill his Jolt first. Normally we see that Jolt skilled first, and he waited, and it
True,
actually
yeah.
paid off because he did get that tongue tie. And if he had Jolt, they wouldn't have got that kill on Magnus. So well played by Shu keeping his spells available and choosing them based on what's going on at that time.
Yeah.
So really well played there.
That's one of those nice little learning tools too. And again, it's one of those kind of small things that may not, think like a big deal to most players out there, but it is. And yourself as a competitive player, as you're stressing, it seems like how important that was, and that got them the kill right there. You're 100% right. I mean, and we do see that happen a lot. Valkyrie's another hero that comes to mind. At least for me, right off the bat, when you talk about that as a hero, you never really want to choose your ability until you get to the lane, you realize the circumstances, and then you eventually level. Hell, we see some players sometimes wait to level 2, even 3 before they level up abilities, depending on the scenario, kind of letting things play out. Because, really, you don't need the ability if you're not going to use it, so it kind of makes sense there. But, yeah, so kind of just a stressing point there, kind of that nice little learning tool that we're doing more and more of here on HonCast as a result of having the great player Trelf Medora on, of course. So
yeah, well, you got to think, too, at the other end of it, if, say he did get Jolt first, which most Polywogs get because level 1, you want to be able to spam that with your high. Actually, the stun, double stun coming out, the stun to follow, triple stun coming out onto a Luna, and Draconis with the stun following up from Magnus. Witchslayer's in a lot of trouble, getting very, very low right there. He is going to health pot and be just fine. So just kind of exchanging some blows right there. Both teams kind of potting up, mana regenning, what have you. And then maybe wait till they hit level 3 to get some more aggressive nature coming out. But, yeah, say he did get that Jolt there at level 1, and they missed it. Be like, oh, it was very, very close to a first blood. But then you think, well, he very well could have gotten that if he had that tongue tie. And that's what happened. He had the tongue tie, got the first blood. So
yeah, that was so again, it worked out very, very well here for Orange Esports. We did see that aggression that resulted in no kills, though. That was interesting. I mean, everyone basically used everything they had here at this top lane, and no kills happened as a result. You mentioned Mr. Ghost on Witchslayer. He did get very, very low, but he is fine in the end. Now, this is what I was kind of talking about, though, that if there is a downside to getting both Witchslayer and Pyromancer, it is the fact that, one of them is going to be a lot more under-leveled and under-farmed, and it seems like in this case it is going to be the Witchslayer who's not going to be, as powerful, and, this is something you talk about. Now, he is in a tri-lane, triple-stun, very aggressive setup, so do you like that he's being played at least in this role, or would you still rather see him as more of a support style?
Are you talking about Witchslayer?
Witchslayer, yes.
Yeah, I never like seeing support Witchslayer. Unless it has special circumstances, like there's going to be a support, or a suicide hero. Like say without a doubt that there's going to be a suicide bubbles, and you have
like
a very
you're playing complexity.
Exactly. Yeah, you're playing complexity, which could be fine as a support because he can still out harass somebody with his stun, with his auto attacks, and he can still get levels. So that would be an instance where support, which is okay. Here, I just think if this fails for Orange, Witchslayer is going to be useless because he's going to have such low levels. But this, like you said, this is a very dangerous tri-lane actually for both tri-lanes. And actually, we could see some action. This is about the time you want to do it because the creep wave is dead. Can Magnus find connection? There, he gets countered on right there. The stun's coming out. Magnus is very, very close to dying. No, he does get the lava search out. At the same time, Pyromancer in a lot of trouble. He eats a tree, tries to juke away, and he's going to be just fine. So, wow, very, very close play from both sides.
Yeah, Magnus was running in the whole time, as you said, without the creep wave there. That was the prime time to go, and well, they tried to, but again, Magnus is only level 1 stun at the time, and he still is for that matter. And of course, the radius, or the range of that, is only 400 range. So you need to get pretty damn close if you want to hit that effectively. And we saw a case right there of, not able to get really close enough, and good counter attempt by Orange, but nearly got the kill also on a wing playing that Pyromancer as a result of that. But still, I mean, we've had action twice now, big time action, where literally every spell has been used, it seems like, by both sides, yet 0 kills resulting in it. So aggression, the name of the game at the top lane. Unfortunately, really not even unfortunately, but the scoreboard not really reflecting that. What's going on?
Well, Pyro just buried herself a HP potion, used it, and then immediately got canceled by the Luna snipe. So,
ouch. That's a lot of wasted time on that courier as well as, and just not too much shield coming out of it. Now, Polywog Priest and Pebbles, they're going a little bit toe-to-toe with one another. There goes the Stalagmite side chuck in the air. It's going to be now Polywog Priest does have a regen read. He's going to pop it right here. No, not even necessary, apparently. As he did put the Hex out. He's going to be fine, though. And Shuyu, with that regen rune, is living life on the edge right now. But
I think he knows that the spells are on cooldown, so he's going to get his full effectiveness out of it.
Yeah, there we go. He wanted to get the Electric Jolt off first, and he's going to start. Now, that's the second time, though, Shuyu has actually got very, very low, but still no death. So, man, this game, that top and even the middle lane, we're having a lot of close calls, but no one actually dying just yet, other than that initial kill, of course.
Yeah, you look at the gold per minute. The supports are going to have a rough game this game. It won't be fun if you're playing Witchlayer, Hammerstorm, Aluna, or Magmus. And actually, aggressive wards coming out here on the mid lane. Shuyu trying to push this. Pebbles does have a combo up in a little bit. He does get the stun off. No toss actually just yet. And actually, he might get turned on here. If he has a jolt, he will die. He does have boots though, so he's very, very fast and good juke there. You know, good decision there to run that way, and as he will get away. Very, very close there though.
Top lane in the meantime, Draconis helping to get the kill right there onto Witch there. Pyromancer now in a little bit of trouble. Some hero blocking going out from Magmus. 1 second on the stun. He's going to go for it. Yes, he is. And Pyromancer will fall. Riser picks up the double tap on Magmus. Very well played. He avoids the tower and will get the double tap kill for the team. Now the middle tower does go down in favor of Shuyu, however, playing on that Polywog Priest. So kind of some exchanging going on right there. But still, the aggressive play finally paying off at the top lane in favor of TteS Esports at least.
Yeah, I just don't like Witch in a support role like this, especially in a tri-lane. He's just so weak and he's so easy to kill. Has very little to offer until he hits really level 5, level 6.
Yeah.
And get that stun duration up on his spells. It's just not very strong in my opinion, and it always seems to fail. Actually, Aluna going to get caught out here. I don't think they're going to have enough follow-up, though. And actually, even Hammerstorm might be in a little bit of trouble, but there's Shuyu on Polywog. Oh. Can he connect? He does not have wards up. But good there, good nuke there.
Man,
actually did something happen.
Well, no, because if he actually, his Electric Jolt got canceled because of the Dragon Flame, if that went up, I believe it would have been close enough to Aluna to actually hit her as well and would have killed her. Maybe it wouldn't have, but it seemed like that it might have. But I heard the sound go off, but the animation didn't happen because of that Dragon Flame nuke. So that was very, very close right there, very close call. But in the end, again, as you said, no kills actually happening. But Shuyu, he will just kind of clean up in the jungle with that double damage rune activated. But yeah, so you're talking about, I mean, Mr. Ghost, he does have some boots now here, on which they're going to fight run into Pebbles actually. Will hit the Graveyard Stun. Inca's Polywog Priest, the Ward Trap's ready. But Aluna, what perfect timing for Aluna right there. That could not have been any better timing. Literally stuns him right before the Ward Trap was about to come out. And down goes Polywog, and, well, Mr. Ghost with those boots at least should be able to get away. But, man, that worked out very well for TteS Esports there.
Yeah, definitely. It's just... This is looking bad. Actually, Slicks wants blood. He's still pursuing the Switch Lair. Can he find him? Oh, no, he decides to walk away finally and let him go away. But, yeah, now I'm trying to look at the bottom lane and see if there's any sign of light or sign of hope there. XSF, he is 23-11 against a 26 and 19 Tempest, so White doing a pretty good job down here. But this tower is getting dangerously low. It's at about 1/3 HP, and a lot of harassment coming out from XSF playing this Wild Soul. And I think that's really right now is what they need to watch, because they have nothing going for them in this tri-lane. They did get the Bloodlust. That was good for them. But actually, here comes action top. Magmus in a lot of trouble. The double stun's coming out. The nuke's coming out. And then finally the Jolt to get the kill before he's able to cast anything. So that was a crucial kill. Hopefully they can keep that up.
I'll say, I mean, we are seeing this, how much lockdown potential really both of these teams have. I mean,
yeah.
But as long as they're staggering their stunts, I mean, you're going to be locked down forever. For both of these teams, really, and I think more so even for ORGE Esports. And that has definitely been shown time and time again here so far in this game. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Wild Soul ulti form activated. It ain't gonna matter though. Pebbles is here, and oh, nice attempt by that was XXF right there actually to try to get his bear to block them, but wasn't going to be enough, and obviously falls in the end. So that's something I was going to talk about, though. I mean, he's kind of been just doing his quiet thing here at the bottom lane, but XXF, he was really taking off and farmed just before that death. Now, Pyromancer, in the meantime, actually goes down to the top side. So Draconis, Magmus, and a Luna all combo together, and he didn't have support nearby, so that's definitely a big reason there. Now, Polywog Priest is actually going to roam over, run right past the Ward of Revelation, however, and they just placed this Ward aside, too. That's really unfortunate. Yeah. So that's definitely going to get counter ward, actually, when they have the time to do so. But Wild Soul, even with that death, he's still farming 264 gold per minute. And Polywog Priest is still leading the way overall at 280. So, you know, at the top of the line at least, right now things are looking a little bit better for ORGE Esports Malaysia. But you got a Pebbles, Draconis, and Tempest, who are all doing fairly well sitting right underneath him, however.
Yeah, I mean, this is like one of those, it's kind of a reverse of the last game. I mean, the last game it was kind of everything all in the Draconis. Now, granted, Pebbles did have a very, very good start last game, but I feel like things are going, like, the farm is going to be much more even this game for TT Sports. Now, Wild Soul, again, we got to keep our focus on him because I feel like he's going to do a lot this game. A lot of aggression actually coming up in the top lane. Magnus, he stuns only one. That could be bad. The double stun coming out onto Magnus, but he's in a very, very good position. Port's coming in. Pyromancer's in a lot of trouble. Ward's dropped by Polywog Priest. The combo does so much damage. Wang Wang dies immediately. Handle a baby. Also falls to Leon Black. Very, very good turn potential. Actually, turn coming out from TT Esports.
Yeah, well, that seemed like two things. Orange Esports was very scattered right there. And I think the biggest thing was that Polywog Priest, he dove past the tower. By the way, nice bottom tower kill, actually, by Wild Souls taking advantage there. But Shuyu, he went beyond the tower thinking that he was kind of chasing them down, but Magnus was hiding in that little hole there in the jungle, and it completely caught him off guard and eventually started their turnaround for TT Esports. So, yeah, and overall, it just seemed like that they were very scattered after Polywog got jumped right there. And two is that Pyromancer is still not level 6. And, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's part of a trial lane, nerfing experience just generally in that sense, but also happening to now die 3 times in total as a result of that last death. And not being level 6, that could they would have had a kill right there if he was level 6, because no doubt I would have think either on Magnus or even somebody else that would have happened. But, so kind of two crucial points that maybe Orange Esports shouldn't have ultimately committed fully there. To a fight, but they did get the bottom tower kills we talked about with Wild Soul, who seems like he is doing a very good job as far as his farm goes. He's already got a Soul's Bulwark. Wow, yeah, actually on Boo Boo. So yeah, great start here for Wild Soul at least.
He's got a very early Bulwark that's very, very good. Actually, top lane, there still seems to be so much aggression coming out. I love it. I feel like I've seen him play this before, and I don't even think he gets boots on Boo Boo. I don't know why. I feel like I remember watching him, and he did not get boots on Boo Boo.
I think he eventually got red boots, but he doesn't upgrade them like you want. Or
I don't even think he gets red
he doesn't
boots.
Even, no, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, and remember, this is also a case of how he eventually puts the items on himself in the later
That was
games,
Shuyu that one game.
Oh, was it Shuyu?
But
okay.
both players did that.
Okay.
Both players did that. You're right. But I just feel like Boo Boo with boots, he's able to maneuver, at least boots, if not Ghost Marchers even, is able to maneuver in fights so well, able to get a lucky root off or what have you. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he realizes that his movement speed's 383. The Bear's right now without boots is 389, so he's like, I don't need any more movement speed on the Bear. But it's useful, trust me. So, we'll see.
See right there, Hammerstorm even trying to steal a creep from Draconis over here in the jungle, but Draconis is able to finish it off before he does, and Hammerstorm will go back. Pyromancer, okay, wow, he just hits level 6 right there. I was going to say still level 5, but finally he hits level 6. So, no, excuse me there. He does have his, what's it called, the Blazing Strike ability, a.k.a. I do a lot of damage quickly, 450 magic damage to be exact there, as far as pre-mitigation, of course. But so that is good news here for Orange. And but again, yeah, talking about Wild Soul, man, 1,300 gold saved up. He's got that Soul's Bulwark, and I believe Mocker Brilliance is what he usually does follow that with. So we'll keep an eye on how well he's doing with that, because it is going to be a big deal here, specifically for them, especially when you're almost on a clock, as it always seems like against Draconis. Now, granted, they did have a Draconis last time for themselves, and granted he did have great farm, of course, being played by XXF, I believe it was. Still wasn't enough in the end to match with Slick's Forsaken Archer, while TT Esports as a team. But you got Moravis here on Draconis. He's at 285 GPM already. The jungle is it's somewhat stacked so far. He did it clear out, I believe it was a triple stacked earlier. He has double stacked Ancients currently. We'll see if he starts becoming a lot more active in those as a result of this game progressing here. He is level 8 here, and he just got his life tube, actually. So this may be a point in time where he's going to start trying to do something. Now, unfortunately, these are Ogre Magi, or Wild Hunters, excuse me. So not the most efficient farming place for Draconis, but hey, at least he's going to take out the Ogres there, so.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm trying to find Boo Boo. Where is Boo Boo? Did he go back to... He's going back to base to heal. See, normally I feel like you waste out a lot of time. I would just kill him and then go farm the... I'm serious. I would just kill him and farm the jungle and then, have that cooldown. It'll probably be up and just play a little bit more passive for the time being. And actually, he might be in a lot of trouble. Polywog does have a haste rune, though. He does get stunned by Magnus, but the wards are already placed. Stun coming out. Really good stun. But there's the black hole. There's the Tempest hole. It gets 3. 2 fall. Shuyu's actually running for his life. He's very, very close to dying. But the stun comes out from Magnus. He does get it. Slicks does fall, though, to, who is that? Pyromancer. And Pyromancer actually misses the nuke. A lot of action happening right now. And maybe they want some more. But no, it looks like actually Whitalba will get away. So very, very good ultimate there coming out from Tempest. But Slicks does die. So
yeah,
sign of life coming out from that team fight. But
Sorry.
No, but it's still looking really, really good for TT.
It ended up being a 1-for-1 exchange. I mean, you're right. That was a hell of an ultimate there from White Talaba on TteS. It was great patience on his part. You could tell he was constantly going back in, going back out. He was waiting for the right moment, and he no doubt got it. But at the same time, it is also excellent getaway from Polywog Priest. Obviously, he still had that haste rune activated just enough to squirt him out of there before he eventually, well, he got picked off, but at least he was able to help set up the counter kill on a Pebbles, making it a 1-for-1 kill exchange in the end. So really, it wasn't as great as it could have been for TT Esports, like it even seemed like it was setting up to be. And on top of that, Polywog Priest does actually just purchase his portal key. So even despite that death, he was able to pick that up, and that's a big item. He's a level 9 Polywog with a portal key. You got to think Pyromancer is well, going to be working for that. Of course, Pyromancer didn't have the greatest early game as a result of that trial lane. She's only farming 158 gold per minute, actually. And I think that that's going to be a really unfortunate case here for ORGE Esports, because the fact that, you know, both Pyromancer and, of course, Witchslayer, it was expected to be because he's playing that bitch ward support role, you know, being under-leveled and under-farmed, it's not really helping you out a lot. And this is an aggressive team built around that Wild Soul especially, and it doesn't seem like they can maximize that because the Pyromancer lacking. Yeah,
I mean, he's having a rough time. Now, that fight, yeah, it did go 1-1, but I got to say, it still favors TT Esports because they're doing it without the Draconis, and Draconis is fine with that. He's just going to be able to farm in the woods and have his team maybe get some 4-on-5 fights. If they can win these 4, or at least come out even on these 4v5 exchanges, maybe not 4v5, but be able to do this without Draconis, that's very, very good for them. It furthers their lead. And actually, they did get a pickup on gold lead as well as an experience lead. It's kind of dwindling down a little bit. It's very, very close still early on in this game. Actually, Shuyu picks up another haste rune. The Glacial Blast coming out from TteS, but nothing's going to happen with that for another lucky rune for Shuyu.
Yeah, it's good heads up on his part. He was racing for that rune, and he got it. So
you're right. Pyromancer needs to have something happen. Doesn't even have Steam Boots finished. Maybe we'll have it after he spams this creep wave right here. Dragon applying a little bit of pressure, but not going to do anything with that. Yeah, this is just a rough game for Wang Wang. He's 0-3-1. He's only been involved in 1 kill. Granted, there are only 3 kills on the board, but still, that's the hero that you wanted to have all the farm and be the spotlight of your tri-lane, and is not really doing too much this game. Did set up a very, very good kill there at the bottom, but he's got to do a little bit more.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's also deceiving to say. And I know it's not by any means you don't mean it that way, but you know, they only have 3 kills and he's only been involved in 1. So technically he's been involved 33%. You know, it's still not great, but I mean, more so the fact that they only have 3 kills. I mean, 17 minutes in, this is a very aggressive team. You got a Pyromancer, Witchslayer, Hammerstorm, Polywog Priest. You think, and as I said at the beginning, the name of the game really is aggression here for ORGE Esports. And the fact that they only have 3 kills now 17.5 minutes in, especially knowing that they were running that aggressive tri-lane off the bat with that Pyromancer, Hammerstorm, and Witchslayer, it's not good news here for ORGE Esports. That's where they were really going to need to try to shine. Now, Witchslayer is going to pour it out up here, actually. That was an interesting job. We ran up there, placed the ward aside actually on the hill. I even wondered about that a little bit. I mean, the tower is still up, so you know, wonder how much use you're going to ultimately be able to make of that. But again, it kind of does go back, I guess, to them being a very aggressive team, and you know, maybe want to try to take advantage of it there. And speaking of being aggressive, they're going to go on the top lane. Slicks is going to get caught out here, and Slicks will eventually fall. I believe he purchases portal key right before he dies.
Yeah, he has no gold at all.
Good job by Slicks. So. Yeah, so at least he got the PK, but still a good catch from ORGE.
Yeah, really. Actually, Hammerstorm's in a lot of trouble. The Luna Red Snipe coming out. Draconis to follow. But if they get some ports right now, they could turn this. If they get ports right now, they could turn this. That'd be a perfect time. No ports, though, because the ports happen top, I believe.
No, Pyromancer had one.
Actually, Pyro does have one. Okay, well, that would have been huge. They really dove way further than they should have. Actually, they are still trying to pursue them. Can they get a lucky route? No. XSF does not get a lucky route, so that's very unfortunate. But that could have been big trip potential. They're still chasing. Strider's activated on Witchslayer. He wants blood, but he's not going to find it. And actually, in the meantime, they missed the tower deny in the mid. So very unfortunate. I was looking at that. I was like, maybe they're actually going to miss that. And they did. So that's unfortunate. Draconis, I want to say that he picked up his Blessed Ore because he's sitting at really no gold and kind of minimal items
I think
right
I
now.
saw him purchase it, yeah.
Okay, let's look at the career here. It is flying down here. Maybe it's this whole nullstone.
No, he just missed a triple stack.
Oh, did they? Well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, Slicks does have his portal key, so really good job by him buying that before he dies. I will say that the good thing that ORGE has going for them is that, well, other than that mid, I was just going to say that they had no towers killed on their side, but, well, the mid's down, so I'm just eating my words.
Yeah, That really was just bad news bears there for Orange Esports. I mean, not only did they didn't take advantage of the massive push, as you said, I mean, they were overextended in Draconis specifically right there. And if Pyromancer reported, I mean, even with Pyromancer alone, with the Hammersmith on top of them, Pyromancer had his ulti, they could have very likely done something. But no ports came in, and sure enough, Draconis eventually got away. But on top of that, as he said, the tower got destroyed because they got so distracted, just all chasing. All 5 of them were chasing, and then they didn't even push up to the Ancients, which were eventually cleared out by Draconis right there, and a couple seconds later even. So Draconis is now sitting comfortably at 400 gold per minute just about. In fact, he passes it right there, and we talked about this, and it seems like we talk about it every single time we see Draconis. You're really just kind of put on a timetable if you're the opposition, and no doubt Orange Esports, that time is running out quicker and quicker here as this game advances. He's got the Nullstone finished. 200 gold only saved out, so of course he just purchased that. But he's already on the Nullstone, and, well, now he's going to start working towards that Shrunken Head, you would guess. Now, the sign of hope really is Orange Esports and Wild Soul. I mean, he is continuing to do fantastic, actually. 357 gold per minute. XXF has that Soul's Bulwark, and now has the Sword of the High purchase, so Mocker Brilliant is going to be happening in the next couple of minutes, especially if they get a tower kill here, and it looks like they're going to fully commit to it. Just look at those hits, man. 280 on the tower. They're just destroying it. Not too sure why he's actually going for the creep kills, honestly, with the boo-boo. That makes sense to stay in the tower. But anyways, they're going to get the tower kill. That's what matters.
Yeah, look at that damage.
They're going to start the race here. Yeah, the Barrage is so strong. So he'll have a Mocker Brilliance now, but look at the top lane. TteS Esports doing a counter up here.
I don't think, I mean, they want to get as much damage here as possible, but I don't know if this is really going to be the best idea. If TteS Esports comes to defend this, it's really going to be a waste of wards, in my opinion. They're just going to clear these out. I mean, Orange Esports cannot fight this, really. The stun comes out, that's going to be really bad if they don't get... Okay, they do get... Wow, okay, they did get a lot of kills there. But here's the initiation. Pebbles with the initiation. Does he get anybody? Yeah, oh, yeah, he did get Handle the Baby right away. And he actually has a haste rune activated there. So, Pyromancer... Oh, wow, there's the 4-man ulti on top of the ultimate coming out. The eruption from Magnus with that new portal key did so much damage, clears them all out. Genocide coming out for TteS Esports.
Oh, I was just about to say. I mean, Orange, they got their job done. They did what they came for. They got the tower kill. They used both the Silver Bolt and the Blazing Strike. Sorry about that. On Tempest right there. I mean, that was, you talk about the mass burst. Those were only level 1s too that got the kill, but they got the kill, they got the tower. Why were they staying around? It's completely beyond me. I mean, they completely overstayed their welcome there. And, that's not even looking in hindsight. I was about to say it. And all of a sudden, Tempest jumps in, Magnus the follow-up, and before you know it, you get genocided. So,
and you can't even say it's like, oh, we didn't know Magnus had a portal key. Yeah. That shouldn't have mattered. I mean, even with Tempest having the ultimate, even without that, the jump potential from Slicks. I mean, Slicks killed Hammer so fast, I didn't even see it. He just died instantly. And they really just shouldn't have even pushed at all. They should have gotten maybe a little bit of damage onto the tower and then backed up and just, kept farming. They should have known that TteS Esports, after they pushed that tower and after they traded, that they weren't going to push anymore. I mean, it was kind of obvious. They should have just had someone TP there, tried to expand their farm a little bit, but I just knew it coming into that. Despite them getting that really fast kill, I mean, I said at the very beginning that Witch Slayer plus the Pyro, the ultimates just do so much damage. But despite them getting that kill, it just really wasn't worth it. And obviously, I mean, they got a great hold, great positioning from Waitalaba, and then the combo with Riser with that new portal key just did so much damage.
Oh, yeah. Tempest popped back. That didn't even hit me until we were just talking about that. So, obviously, yeah, that definitely could have caught Orange Esports off guard as well. But like you said, I mean, even if he was still dead, I mean, even if they didn't know they had the portal keys, it still didn't make a whole lot of sense why they were staying around as long as they were. I mean, they got the tower. I mean, sure, you do want to get the melee racks, too. I can understand that, I guess. But, I don't know. Pyromancer as well. I mean, he was still hanging around himself with maybe, like, 50 life, it seemed like. He had very little life, and he was actually in the front lines doing God knows what. So that was also very interesting, played by Wing Wing there. But in the end, what's done is done, and TteS Esports, they capitalized big time. It's a great job by Waitalaba, and then, of course, Magnus with the follow. Got the couple of kills. So obviously, we're having some reconnects here. Going to be coming out from Orange Esports, and hopefully not too long, and then we'll be jumping back in this game. But now at a 10,000 experience disadvantage, as well as a 7,300 gold disadvantage, and you're dealing with the Draconis, as I keep going back to. You got to wonder, how much fight left Orange Esports actually has. I mean, I know we're only 22 minutes in, but that timer goes so quickly in circumstances like this. And, maybe getting that, well, it doesn't actually, Pyromancer, I'm guessing she's actually going to be going for a Tablet of Command, so I'm not even going to be going for a Portal Key here. as her first kind of big pickup. You got a Polywalk Priest who does have a Ring of Sorcery now, but it's almost as if maybe this was a plan for the beginning, but Orange Esports, they're going to develop more into, we just got to group up, push, and hope we can win that way at this point.
Yeah, it's looking scary if it gets brought to the late game. I mean, Moravis is farming really, really well. Also considering the fact that they had a very, very, I want to say, kind of stalemate tri-lane. Yes, there were some kills, but I mean, basically he wasn't farming anything in that tri-lane. He had to wait until he got out of the lane. And, you know, that being said, him having 420 gold per minute right now, it's just going to keep growing exponentially. He's going to get out of hand. He's going to have a shrunken head very, very soon. And once he, actually, now that I think about it, really, once he gets that shrunken head, there's really nothing that Orange can do. I mean, if he gets a shrunken head as well, if Slicks gets one as well, there's nothing that they can do. They're all magic damage right now. And especially with that Mock of Brilliance kind of being, I mean, he does have a Soul's Bulwark as well, but really, the Mock of Brilliance is kind of the only item that they have. And that's magic damage as well. They have nothing else other than that. Hammerstorm's got Striders. He's not going to do any damage. So, yeah, Shrunken Heads up on the Hellborn team, you basically pop that, you win the team fight. So I imagine that's what these heroes are going to go for. And, yeah, it's looking really scary for Orange Esports. So what they really need to do is get some pickoffs, starting with this Polywog Portal Key, and go from there.
When your best chance of winning a game is, you know, trying to bait an ability like a Shrunken Head to be used as... well, that was random. Anyways, when that's your best bet of baiting a Shrunken Head to be used, then resetting 10 seconds later, and then trying to make something happen within that time window where the Shrunken Head's down, I mean, yeah, your chances are already very slim going into that. And you're right. I mean, when you said that, you look over, it's so true. I mean, sure, they got a Wild Soul with the Soul's Bulwark, but until he gets that really built up, oh god, here we go again. XX7 apparently can't seem to... Anyways, a jump in from Polywog Priest, but a Magnus reacted just before, and Polywog Priest will fall. TteS jumps in comes a Bear. Gonna try to pound on the pebbles, but Pyromancer will also go down. And now both Witchslayer and Wildstar are just gonna have to run away. There's the jump on a Witchslayer. That Gall of the Dragon flying through the air because of the poor man's portal key. Chuck from Pebbles. And speaking of poor man's portal key, he uses the actual thing, jumps in the background, and he's going for more kills. TteS also jumps in, doesn't have his ultimate, but he will have that Glacial Blast, hits Hammerstorm, and ooh, nice dodge right there on the second stun. The Stalagmite's also dodged, but nope, he's going to be summoned Magnus, and Hammerstorm will fall as well. So TT Esports going full throttle right here. You see XXF, he's falling back, and I mean, yeah, so the reason why I said that, of course, I don't think it was the last time, but when we did cover them before, he had the same issue apparently where for whatever reason his bear just completely disappeared on him. Now, I don't think that would have had an impact on that fight, to say the least, because that was really just TT Esports playing very well and using their portal keys, but it is unfortunate that it happened at that timing. But, man, TT Esports, they're just so strong right now. I don't know if Orange has much left in them.
I think Orange is just... They're trying to make some fights that... they're just trying to take desperate fights, I guess, at this point. I don't really know what to call it. They're just not being smart about it. They're really not. They can't take fight. Well, first of all, they can't take fights at all right now because the other team has a significant lead. So the only way they can really do this is spread out the map, try to do some counter pushing, and maybe get some pickoffs. But they cannot fight. If the other team is pushing and they have heroes grouped up together, you're going to have to dodge it. Just dodge it, push another lane, maybe anticipate some TPs coming out in another lane, and then jump on that hero. I mean, that's really the only way you can get back in this game. But just kind of like trying to approach all the heroes 5v5, trying to do a team fight is not the way to go, and it's just not working out at all for Orange right now. And they're going to have to come up with a game plan soon, or it's going to be a steamroll by the TT Esports squad.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously a lot easier said than done. You know, with having saying they're going to have to come up with the game. I really think it's just going to be. I mean, you look at the Ward of Sights they have all the way up here, the top right of the map. I mean, even one in the base at this point. It's just them saying, you know, we just need to push and hope that for whatever reason that TT Esports either just chooses not to defend, or you know, we get lucky, we get a couple of picks, and then we advance on from there. But this is no doubt TT Esports' game to lose now. Now, they were kind of talking about, he brought up the point that as a result of that last fight and how it played out, he wasn't able to put the Mock of Brilliance on his bear. You know, that you can say that is actually a pretty big deal. And I don't know, I wasn't watching the bear the whole fight by any means, and something we do talk about, though, is with portal keys obviously being very active over here in the Hellborn team. 3 out of the 5 heroes having portal keys. Mock of Brilliance is a very good tool against that. So you got to maybe wonder a little bit if he did have the Mock on there, if he was able to put it on there, and then if that was able to stop some of those portal keys coming out from TT Esports, then perhaps that fight could have played out differently. But in the end, obviously, it's not TteS Esports' fault, and what happened happened. It's just unfortunate. It seems like a bug that only he has. I know you play a lot of Wilds. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to yourself.
I've never had that happen, actually.
Yeah. It's like with the Bears.
Yeah. It's got to be annoying, though, because you're going to have to time auto attacks with a bear whose animation you can't see. So I could imagine it's got to be annoying. At this point, it's got to be frustrating, but at this point, I just think it's really kind of over. I hate to say it this early. It is only 23 minutes into the game, but I mean, look at the score, 5-18. They got a commanding lead at 11K gold, 15K experience, and the momentum in the ball is just in their court. They've really got everything going for them, and it's really it's hard to envision ORGE coming back from this. It is.
So you kind of just hope that now at least they try to get this figured out here, and well, apparently we're going to be waiting 3 minutes here to determine what's going to be going on. So I guess they're just going to take a quick break here. Again, obviously nothing against ORGE. If they have a problem, they by all means they're allowed to try to fix it. But you just kind of hope it's not one of those unpause and 2 minutes later the game is over after sitting in this long ass pause. So and as we keep talking about it, it honestly seems like it could be getting to a point like that with just how overwhelming TteS Esports is getting, but by all means, they are allowed to do what they're doing. It's not like they're taking forever. I mean, it hasn't even been the first 10 minutes yet, so we'll go ahead and let it play itself out, and hopefully for the sake of entertainment here, it doesn't last too much longer, but again, it kind of does give us a little bit of a break here to, once again, kind of discuss this tournament. I know that this is our... there really hasn't been a lot of information about this event, at least on our cast. I mean, this is our first cast here in the DreamHoN Redemption Tournament. That we're doing. It actually started, I believe it started on the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the 4th, but less than a week ago, whatever it was. And it's going to be lasting up until, I believe, near the end of this month even. So it's going to be going every single day. Now, unfortunately, here on a Concast, we're not going to be able to cover it every single day, at least just yet, for this coming week here. The following week, we're definitely going to get a little bit more coverage out, I believe. But we'll definitely get our coverage schedule public to you guys as soon as possible. But the DreamHoN Redemption Tournament, again, it's 16 teams, 4 groups of 4 teams in each group, and the top 2 teams from each group are going to be advancing on to the quarterfinal stage. They're all competing for a $10,000 prize pool, as well as an invite to DreamHack Winter 2012. And again, they also will get, just like Complexity did, they'll get a $4,000 travel stipend to also go to DreamHack Winter 2012. So it's, again, a good amount of money on the line for this tournament, as well as a very important DreamHack Winter invite. Now, although there hasn't been a whole lot of information released just yet on the DreamHack Winter event, it is safe to say that it's going to be yet another great event here for Heroes of New Earth. And definitely can't wait for that. I know that's coming up here. And it seems it is, it's now 2.5 months away, but
I know.
Honestly, with the way things go, I mean, things just creep up so quickly. It's going to be just around the corner, it seems like. But
it just seems like yesterday that DreamHack Summer happened.
I know, right?
So. And it's such a fun event, so I'm sure all the teams have that on their mind. I'm sure, especially the players that have gone there before, want to go again because it is such a fun experience, and there's going to be a lot of money on the line. So it's just a lot of good things in that direction. So much money on the line, a lot of reasons to play this game right now. Great teams. It seems like every single time I log on to... well, depending, of course, on the time of day, there seems to be like sometimes 120,000 people online. A lot of them coming out from Southeast Asia too.
Yeah,
actually, really the majority of them
over there.
So, and actually, the